This is Raven Beats.
Peace and blessings, family. Thank you once again for tuning into a very special episode of Code of the Conscious Man. We are now in season 2, episode 1. First of all, before I even get into the season, which is a banger, I want to thank everyone that tuned in with the previous season, all of my supporters with everything when it came to me finally getting my website off of the ground. Also, people watching my podcast, supporting my page, everything. It means the world to me. You have no idea. So thank you all for tuning in last season, and this season is only going to get better. So first of all, before I bring on the guests, I just want to reintroduce myself. My name is Jonathan Daniels. I am a holistic empowerment coach. My whole goal and mission of this podcast and also my business is to enrich the lives of not only the people around me, but men. Men are a vital source and an essential part of our lives. So everyone has been affected by a man, good or bad. But when that experience is good, it only elevates the human experience. So me being a father, me being a Black man, I know how powerful I am when it comes to my presence, my purpose, and just simply my words. So because of that, I've dedicated my business to enriching the lives of men so that you can enrich the lives of the people around you, from your families to your partners to, most importantly, yourself. So if you want to check me out, you can go definitely go to my website, enritual.org. Finally up and running. Bookings are there. Everything's there. So definitely check me out. So like I said, tonight we have a very special guest. This guy I met just off of how we say in the South, you know what I'm saying, off of the cuffs, you know what I'm saying, off the muscle, you know what I'm saying? So met him, instant vibe, and I knew this, and I knew he was going to be someone that was going to be perfect for this conversation immediately. And he is a very eccentric character, and he himself walks his own paths by the beat of his own drum. This person's his name is Raheem Tabari. Now, I'm going to read you a little bit of who he is, but he is going to explain to you exactly what he is in all of his glory. So he is a creator, a healer, a helper, the merciful. He calls himself a creator because he uses his hands and mind to draw forth positive energy from the elements into copper, metal, healing jewelry. The healer because I harness my love and passion to uplift my people and spiritual community and helping all that need be. So the merciful because that is what my name means. So his name actually means merciful. So this man is going to explain to you all of what he does, and I have a lot of questions for him. So I would like to bring on Raheem. There you go. Peace and blessings, man.
Greetings.
So yeah, like I said, I was just explaining to the people who you are, and I hope I did a good job. But
I can't hear.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, hold on. What about now?
I can't hear.
Okay. Let's see what we got. One second.
Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, I can
hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you at all.
Okay. So try this. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you with my AirPods off.
See, Apple, man, they don't want us to be great.
Thought what?
Apple don't want us to be great. So I was just introducing you to the people, but like I said, I want you to uh, definitely introduce yourself to the people and just explain exactly who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, greetings and love to everybody out there. My name is Raheem. I go by Raheem Assad, but my name is Raheem Tabari Taylor, and I am a creator. I create gemstone jewelries for healing purposes. I'm into holistic healing and just helping anybody out there in the world who needs guidance, support, love, and all those type of things. And I just strive to, as I heal myself on this life path, you know I make sure I look out for others because what is life with you healed and everybody else is unhealed. So
Hmm.
you know
Hmm.
I just come with peace and love, and I send love and blessings to everyone out there.
See, man, I knew it, Brad. I knew it. I knew it, man. But yeah. So it was actually when I first saw it. That was the first thing I asked about was your jewelry, and then when you told me that you made it, I was like, this is definitely someone I want to connect with. So thank you once again for coming on, man.
No problem, no problem.
Um, so this season, I'm starting things off a little bit differently. I'm diving into deeper questions to have deeper meanings to really get into the core and the source and really get down to the source code of who you are and how someone can help themselves become more of who they are. So I want to open up the question with how are you healing your legacy?
Well, that's a great question, and I look at the word legacy, and when I think of the word legacy, I think of or when people let me rephrase that. When people think of the word legacy, they think about money and big inheritance and
Mm-hmm.
etc. But my definition is kind of different because I think legacy starts within. And the reason that I say that is because, you know, it's a lot of things spiritually that our ancestors have left us with. You
Mm-hmm.
they people call it generational curses.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying? And I feel that it's up to me myself to look within and, take from them,
Mm-hmm.
earn them, learning them. I'm also learning myself. So,
Yeah.
that's one thing, and I can get deeper into that aspect, but, I want to continue. But that's one thing that I work on daily, you know what I'm saying? Because that's important. And, we always, as beings, we should keep ourselves in check. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and because whether you know it or not, our children is watching us, guy down the street watching us, the woman at the store watching us, learning from us. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we're being an example, whether we're demonstrating, good or bad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my the legacy that I'm trying to heal and leave is, you know, piety. Just being a pious man, just
Mm-hmm.
being, you know,
Could you break that down for the viewers that probably don't know what that means?
oh well, piety or it's basically, let's just use the word loving and
Mm-hmm.
righteous and healing. All
Mm-hmm.
words are kind of synonymous with that word piety. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just wish whomever, one of my prayers is, oh my creator, let those who see me see you. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason I say that is, the creator, he gives to the good and the evil. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And I'm not trying to act as such, but I think that's a good character to have, and to keep
Mm-hmm.
melody and to remember to give and, help. I'm not saying let people, do you any type of way. Of course,
Right.
there's balance to, life, but,
Mm-hmm.
practice these things within, it builds your spirit up. It builds your character because
Mhm.
you're not uh putting yourself low on that vibration that other people may be in. You know,
Right. Right.
easy to fight with somebody. You know
Correct.
how much easier it is to have a better attitude and do the higher thing or
Hmm.
the loving thing. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
have your own code of ethics. Hmm.
exactly. And so that's another thing that I am striving to work on. You know what I'm saying? In health, you know, if you know that your ancestors have, bad, let's just say blood pressure, you
Hmm.
know that you need to keep building your DNA because let me tell you something, DNA is very, very powerful spiritually and physically.
Hmm.
You have to check the foods that you eat. You know what I'm saying? Because it can heal you or it can kill you.
Hmm.
But,
Hmm.
so I love that question because it just even now it's just reminding me just how much better and how much more that I want to be for
Hmm.
not just for myself but for my family because that
Hmm.
means a lot. That
Yeah.
means a whole lot, and our actions today can either grow, people after us and keep us
Hmm.
strong, or
Hmm.
it can either damage us and cut us short, and we'll be so-called cursed, you know.
Hmm.
So, I hope that kind of covered your question.
Yeah, that covers it, man. It's just that one of the reasons why I like to present that question is because it helps me see and helps people see a different perspective of how you are healing the legacy that was passed on to you. Just
Mhm.
like how you said that we have generational curses. But truthfully, when it comes to these curses, these are just things that have not been dealt with. These are problems that are just being passed on.
Yeah,
When truthfully, these problems that are being passed on sometimes aren't really problems. It's
mhm,
just that these are situations that just don't have solutions. Not all of them. Now,
mhm.
when it comes to generational curses, it's definitely things that are curses, but
Right.
it could be things that are perceived as bad
Mhm.
just only because you have not had the tools to actually make it into something great.
Right. And
No.
let me get this straight. A generational curse could be like like bone disease, arthritis,
Yeah.
blood pressure, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's not like, somebody just said, abracadabra, you're cursed and your whole
Exactly.
great.
Exactly.
Some people look at it like, but
Exactly. You know
what
what I'm saying?
what we have
So,
to do is make
mhm,
sure that we don't say, I handle this tomorrow, I eat right tomorrow, or I,
yeah,
start meditating and focusing on this. We have to
mhm,
handle it right now because, that's when it starts. We can't wait forever.
mhm, mhm. So people people should really look into their past to understand their present to
Yeah.
see what their future is, even though time is happening all simultaneously.
Oh,
Everything's happening right now, but you still come from somewhere, someone and something. So I didn't start looking into my legacy until close to the time I became a father, because then that's when I saw the actual fruits of my labor or the sins of my past.
mm-hmm.
So I started to see how she was growing and realized like you
Right.
need to do better.
Right.
So and then of course after my divorce, that's when I started my own business. When I was like, you know what, I need to give men the tools to understand that they are very important. No matter what the world says, no matter what the news says, no matter what anyone says,
Mm-hmm.
you are important to the family, and you are the protector, the rock, you are the pillar of strength. And if you can't be that pillar, the family falls apart. And that's what we've seen.
Yeah.
But me talking about my business, I want to talk about your business.
Mhm.
So what led you to create a business that allows you to be all these things in one? I mean, a healer, a helper, a creator, a manifester, even though you didn't say that, even though I know that's, that's a part of it, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
also a generator.
Oh,
So So what led you to this?
Well, I would say that I was always into beaded necklaces.
Mm-hmm.
Every picture that you see in the past, you'll see me with some type of beaded necklace,
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. And my necklaces would always break. They'll always go because I would be playing wild or either just, it catch on or something. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? And so when I started initially, it was just because, I wanted to find a way to make my necklaces more secure.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying? But as I got deeper into it, I like to master things. I'm a deep guy. I'm very deep. So, as I got into it, I started learning more about gemstones and the
Mm-hmm.
properties that they carry. For instance, it's a black stone called shungite. And this black stone has electric energy. It's
Mm-hmm.
very healing. You can place it in a cup of water and it cleanses the water. That says a lot, And so me interested in this, me already loving to help people, me already just being a, generous guy. I just kind of put those two together, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just started creating jewelry. And, as I get deeper and deeper into my craft, my wanting to help people gets even deeper, because
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it doesn't make sense if I'm healed, then the world isn't healed.
Right.
I'm still I'm still finding myself in this journey of, you know, melanin beans, my business and my craft. And, new things will come in the future, but that's we can speak about that later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I know. I know sometimes when it comes to, well, at first when I started, the focus was on black men, and
Mm-hmm.
I and the focus is still there,
Mm-hmm.
and I started to realize that the things that I was doing was not only affecting black men but also men,
Yeah.
just men in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to be able to be more open to understanding that we as black men aren't the only people that go through these things, but our experience is unique to our own.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when it comes to being a healer, when it comes to being someone that is able to generate this type of power,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have a certain source of, well, not a certain source, a certain perspective of freedom and a certain perspective of love.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to not only express that, but also to receive that love.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've learned. I'm still learning, and every day I'm learning something new. Like if I'm creating this graphic that I'm trying to do for the business, and then it brings out like a part of me that I didn't know was there, or that inner child that I didn't know wanted this to come to fruition.
Right.
So, um, so that kind of leads me to my next question. What? Let's see if I can. Who were you before the man we see today?
Oh man. Oh man. That question is deep because the thing is, in those days I didn't even know myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was, if you ask anybody that knew me back then, they would tell you the same thing. They would I was nothing to be fooled around with. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was I don't know how deep you want me to get, or
Hey,
you know,
this is your platform. This
yeah.
is, bro.
Well,
This is your show.
I
You
was
tell me.
I was I was just low. I was very low. My eyes wasn't as open as they are now, and I give thanks because the certain things that I went through back then, it gives me so much strength today.
Mhm.
And I could never fathomed that I would be such a man that I am today, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still striving to be more because
Mm-hmm.
I was in the streets, doing Lord knows and drugs. I'ma just be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
So doing
yeah,
what I
yeah.
wasn't supposed to be, not living in my purpose, being
Mm-hmm.
rebellious, you know,
Yeah.
partying and whoop de whoop and all these other things, and you know, it led me into destruction and uh death vibration. You can be dead but not be physically dead. You get
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
physically dead, and now it's so much lighter, and I'm not even satisfied now, but I look back, you know I was just a lost cause, and that's why I try to help people,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember the days that I would cry. I remember the days that I would be depressed. I remember the days that I ate unhealthy. I remember the days that, I was just not thinking about the foods that I ate and the way
Mm-hmm.
that I act and the way that I think, and just, it was sad. It was sad. And you can look at somebody's eyes and tell, you know, you can tell a
It's a
lot.
trail of tears behind those eyes. Yeah.
Yes. You looked in
Mhm.
my eyes, you would see. So
Yep.
all praises to my creator for saving me. Because that's all. I thought that's the only thing that I can think of that saved me was my creator. Some go by different names, so I'ma just use the word my creator.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's it.
So one thing, thank you for that story because a lot of people that I've come across haven't gotten to that point where they're able to accept what they have done and what they've gone through
Hmm.
because there's a difference between holding yourself accountable and being responsible.
There you go.
Because you can hold yourself accountable. Oh, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't eat that. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't smoke. But you aren't putting any type of action behind what you are and aren't supposed to do.
That's right.
And also one of the things that I've learned going through this journey is that this is something that I was supposed to go through. I chose this life to be back here, to go through this experience again for this very purpose. And by me seeing that, I cannot be mad at myself for what I did. Because if I hold on to that pain, to that frustration, to that anger, to that rage, to
Hmm.
that shame,
There's no healing.
there's no healing. And I can't help anyone else. I cannot help myself. And I'm stuck in this perpetual cycle of damnation.
Right.
Constantly saying that I'm not enough. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Always criticizing myself.
Hmm.
So understanding that the first thing I need to do is accept the path that I came from because that path led me to where I'm stepping right here.
Accept and
And
learn from it.
huh?
Accept and learn from
Yes. Accept and learn from it.
it. Yeah.
Because once you learn from your own transgressions, downfalls, shortcomings, sins, whatever you want to call them,
Hmm.
everything now becomes conscious.
Yes.
And that's why, even though this ain't a hashtag or a lie, like that's why when I thought of Code of the Conscious Man, like that's it.
Yes.
You are creating the code to your life to become the conscious man or just the conscious person that you are supposed to be.
Yes. Yes.
So, just
Beautiful.
like you said, somebody is always looking at you.
Yes.
Your creator or whoever. There's always somebody looking at you, waiting for you to fall. And
Wait.
it's not because they have something against you. Sometimes they just have something against themselves and they want somebody else to fall just like them.
Projection.
I want someone to be just like this here with me.
Yes.
Even though I don't know this brother, I don't know this sister, I don't know them from a can of paint, but I do know that it makes me feel better if
Mm.
I see them fall. So it's a lot of projection.
Right. And those the people who need healing the most. And that leads me back to what I was saying the other, like maybe 10 minutes ago. I can't scoop myself to your level. It comes a time where I have to rise above that
Right.
and say this, hey, like my father once told me, sometimes you have to treat people like a mental patient because understand they not on the same level. And I'm not saying put yourself above them all high and mighty,
Mm-hmm.
not on the same level to even understand, but you have to have patience. I myself have to remember to have patience with them to teach
Mm-hmm.
them, to exemplify, the things that they need to learn to grow.
Mm-hmm. 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 Once you become once you know who you are, you act like you know who you are.
Yes.
And you move away from these things that don't concern you, these things that are not for you. And it becomes easier for you to deal with things that are difficult, like the peer pressures.
Mm-hmm.
Like growing up, that was the biggest thing I know for me and my circle was everybody pushing on somebody. Hey man, I bet you won't do this. Hey
Right.
bro, I bet you won't go and shake. Like it was something stupid always, and that's how we got into a lot of dumb things. But now, man, I don't care what you do, man. You can
Right.
do whatever you want to do. I know who I am.
That's
And
right.
but but that but it was something you said. Well, it's something that we both were talking
Mm-hmm.
about how we eat,
Yeah.
the things that we consume.
Yes.
Boy, I've been waiting to get to this one.
Oh, Lord.
So the question so
Get on.
so the question is of course, how important is health to us as men as we age? But I want to ask you about your eating patterns and how you eat because it was a video I saw.
Mm-hmm.
So you posted.
Bring it on. Oh.
It was a video I saw that you posted. You were eating raw meat, and I was very curious about this.
Right.
So, man, please explain that. I want to know.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the first question. You said how important it is. Ask that question again so I can make sure I answer it correctly.
How important is our health as men as we age?
Okay, so it's very important. A lot of people, I'm gonna just use the word people, but I'm referring to men too.
Mhm,
It's men and women watching. A lot of people, don't take their health serious. You-
mhm,
And I believe your health is connected to your spirituality. Not saying
mm.
right, you know, evil or whatever, but it's a
You
brain,
right.
huh?
You right.
Yes, it's a
You right.
gut connection. How you eat is how you think. You know what I'm saying? And so, some people, believe that you have to eat a certain way to obtain higher consciousness, and that's completely fine with me. But my whole thing is keeping a open mind and learning. Tasting this, trying this, learning yourself, learning how your digestive system work, learning how the body works just in general,
Mhm,
because you don't want to take your life for granted. The biggest sin to me is not taking care of yourself. It's
mhm,
not learning yourself, learning what foods to eat,
mhm,
how to think, because that's taking care of yourself as well. That's a spiritual diet. So
mhm.
that ties into, how I eat and whatnot. And like you said, the raw meat. I'm trying to stay on train. It's a lot of stuff coming to me. It's just
Speak about those downloads, man. Come on.
I'm trying to take it. It's just a lot. I'm gonna just say this to everybody who's watching. Yeah, just learn, and not everything that we read about is right. Because at the end of the day, all of us are imperfect, but we're striving for perfection.
Mhm,
And what was right today may be wrong tomorrow. What was wrong yesterday may be right today. So, like my old teacher would say, truth is an experience. So how do you know raw meat is bad for you when you never ate it for as long as I've been eating it for about 2 years maybe. And
Mm.
me, I'm alive, kicking it, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so my whole thing is, I don't know how to put this. Is I just experience for myself.
Yeah.
You know, I look at the way fruit makes me feel. I pay attention. Okay, how am I thinking? How am I feeling? I look
Mm-hmm.
at how bread makes me feel. Okay, dang, I feel real, full and ready to go to sleep. I look at how cooked meat makes me feel, still kind of full, and I got energy, but I'm still kind of full. And then I look at how raw meats makes me feel. I'm alert. I'm active. I feel good. Like I remember one of the first times I tried raw meat. I kid,
Mm-hmm.
my smell increased, my alertness increased, my happiness increased. It was like I just wanted to hug somebody.
Mm.
No lie. And I'm still learning about raw meat, but for those who may want to try raw meat, make sure you
Mm.
get grass fed, you know, farm raised meat. Don't just get some meats with added hormones and antibiotics and try it.
Mm.
So you got to know what you're doing before you just jump into the field. So, the raw meat it's a beautiful feeling. And
Mhm.
I get demonized for it because, people, you'll be surprised. People call me Jeffrey Dahmer or whoever that is, and just. But if you look at my face, if you look at my skin, I mean, where's the parasites? Where's the
Mm.
everything else that people say? My teeth still here. I'm healthy. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
back to me saying, truth is an experience. You know what I'm saying? Some things is just. I can give you a perfect example.
Mhm.
I saw this documentary a long time ago, and they used the snake venom to heal the eyes of someone. It's
Mhm.
a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so you gotta know what you're doing.
Mhm.
That's all.
Mm.
You have to know what you're doing. Everything is made good for us, but you have to know what you're doing, how to eat, know your body, know what to take from and what not to take from. And
Mhm.
I hope that's a good enough response for you. And if
It actually is
if I have
because
a question, let me know because I want to answer. I want.
because actually what's so funny was I I actually saw the video after I asked you to be on the show.
Oh,
So yeah. So when I saw it, I was like, oh
uh,
yeah, I gotta ask him about this.
but
And I was seeing some of the comments and
uh,
like seeing that you drink milk unpasteurized, right?
this what I'm drinking right now.
So and there was also a post that you posted about how it was something saying that like y'all say your ancestors didn't drink milk, but there was like a hieroglyph of some
Yeah.
Egyptians drinking milk directly from the cow. So I thought that was interesting. But I want to go to the comments. So let's see. Raven Thistle. Yeah, that's my lady right there. She said patience and humility. Absolutely. We
Yeah.
got Nubian Threads, blessings. She
Hmm.
also says that I enjoy raw meat as well. And
Okay.
Raven, she says, do you have quote unquote cheat foods or cravings for unhealthy foods,
Oh,
guilty pleasure foods, or 100% healthy?
oh no. I don't. That was in my past life. In my
Mhm.
past life is 5 years ago. Is what I'm saying. I ain't talking
Yeah.
about. I don't believe in that. I believe in treating my body as my temple. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
this is giving me life. This is fueling me. So
Mhm.
I must treat my body like I treat my baby. Make sure it's nice and perfect.
Mhm. Yep.
I've had the time of destroying myself. I've destroyed myself too much to say, I want some McDonald's. I'm about to, get me a double cheeseburger and a slushie. I'm not about to do that no more, and that's why I'm thankful for my past, because it has taught me a whole lot, and I promise it's teaching me so much even to this day. And it's things that you just should stay away from, because, like I said, it carries those energies or curses follow you. Things that some people do that they shouldn't even partake in. This food that they've created, this GMO food that's seedless, that really makes
Like
me
the
angry.
grapes, watermelons,
Yeah,
everything.
I
Yeah.
hate it. I hate it with a passion, because every living thing out there has a seed. We have seeds in us, our sperm. The woman has a seed in her, the animals, everything. So you mean to tell me you want me to eat a seedless fruit, that's genetically programmed? So now
Yep.
genetically programmed fruit is going into my DNA, which
Right.
is powerful. It's like a computer. It's like, I forgot what the guy Billy Carson said. Over 1,000 ebooks can fit in one strand of DNA. I forgot.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, it's all
Yep.
information. So my people die from what? Lack of knowledge. So we have to know ourselves. If you know thyself, if you strive to know thyself, and you will begin to look outside of you and see yourself in nature. Nature will begin to talk to you and speak to you through the way the birds move, the animals move, or whatever. It may be a thought that comes to your head and say, do this. You have to build that just how you push weights in a weight room, you have to build that spiritual aspect of you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and I get that from eating raw meat. I'm being funny, but people say you're not conscious when you eat raw meat. I'm
Yeah.
wrong, is what I'm saying. So, we really have to be mindful and don't settle. Some people say, well, this all I know. I've been doing this forever and blah, blah, blah. So they think it's no better. It's always a better. We have to always strive for betterness and growth. Not saying you shouldn't be content, but if somebody come with some new knowledge and it's, not crazy, and, why not learn about it? Not saying you got to do it, but learn about it and see. It may be something in there that can help you out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
So honestly, just to go off your point, just like you said, truth is an experience, and that's actually true. There are some facts that cannot be changed, that are absolute, such as the ground we walk on,
Mm,
where we come from as far as humans. We come from the ground. There's a sun. There's a moon. Those things are very definitive. But the human experience, the truth, that's the experience. You have to live it
mhm,
to even say that this is what you know. And I came across a TikTok the other day, and it went viral on social media too. It was a Jamaican man talking to a white man,
mhm,
and he asked a white man a question. He didn't ask him a question first, but he told him, "You
mhm.
cannot believe something you know."
I saw.
you
Yeah.
know and then once he broke it down and said, do you believe in your parents? And he said, well, no, I know my parents.
Mhm.
These things are definitive. So
Right.
when it comes to you shattering these different type of beliefs or these different type of assumptions, that is going to literally crack the barrier of your own existence, your own reality.
Mhm,
And I don't know much about raw meat, or really technically some of the meat that we still eat now. But I
mhm,
do know the basics, that just like you say, when it comes to things like fast food and other these processed foods, these things are incredibly terrible for us, and we are continuously breaking our bodies. We are continuously destroying our bodies, and we are truly not respecting the temple that we were given, or the temple that we chose to have. And
right.
this is our gateway to the next step,
Mhm,
whatever you believe that is,
right.
whether it's no step at all, whether it's another step or a few steps, or a jump or a leap. Either way, there's something else.
Yes.
Even if you can or cannot experience what that something else is, it's there.
That's right.
So I truthfully came to the understanding that when you are going through the path of your walk, when you are walking your path, you have to walk that for yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you have to see what works best for you. If you feel that this works best for you, then
Yeah.
yeah. But if you know it works best for you,
Mm,
man, I can't say nothing to you.
you're right.
Except, brother, I commend you for what you're doing.
That's right.
Because what you do ain't gonna stop me from what I'm doing.
Right.
And what I'm doing ain't gonna stop you from what you're doing.
And I'm glad you said that, because the thing is, a lot of people, I made a post, a lot of people follow trends, but are they following their intuition? You know,
Mm,
and we
mm,
follow what, you know, this society is putting out, and they put these trends out, food trends, just different song trends, different
yep.
stuff to distract us mentally, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, you have your own path to walk, but how can you walk your own path when distracted? Oh, you're not within. I think it's so imperative that we just put things to the side. What people have to say,
Mm-hmm.
just be within, and get those downloads.
Mm-hmm.
Meditate, and pray, whatever you feel
Mm-hmm.
calms your mind and helps you to think for self.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
because other people out there thinking for us by what we learn, but
Yep.
are we thinking for ourselves? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and so I like what you said right there. That was powerful.
Yeah, man. I honestly believe when it comes to your path, that's just how you walk.
Yes, sir.
And people need to have a better understanding to respect that instead of them projecting.
Yeah.
People want to people want to or people think that they're following their own intuition, but really they're just seeking attention.
Hmm.
And that's all they're doing.
Hmm.
Is that I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna do this trend or this dance or this fashion or whatever, and I'm gonna get the likes or I'm gonna get the followers. Man, don't nobody care about that.
Right.
Well, other people do,
I know what you mean.
but you know what I'm saying. But the
Yeah.
real ones, bro, I don't care about no massive following. I don't
Right.
care about these things. I want to do what I love, and I want to make sure that I can support my family while I do it.
That's right.
And we have to be that example. And technically, you answer my next question is how does food play into your spiritual life? But shit,
I'm
we got to cover
listening.
all that.
I'm
We got to cover all that. So, there was a post you made
uh-huh.
that I wanted to ask you about,
Hmm.
and I saw it at least maybe 2 or 3 times,
Okay.
and it was about peace and wholeness, or being peace and being whole, or being at peace and being whole. I think it was something like that.
Right.
But I wanted to ask you, what does it mean to be at peace, and
Hmm.
what does it mean to be whole?
So I believe, how can I put this? We we have to watch how we address our words. It's different types of peace. The English language is so crazy. Is And it all leads back to that Billy Carson video I was reading. If y'all don't
Mhm.
look it up, look him up.
Check out Billy Carson.
Yeah, he's
Billy Carson will have some facts for you that'll make you be like, you know
uh,
what? I haven't read a book or
uh,
anything a day in my life.
right. Very
Yeah.
influential. And he had this guy on. He was like, "Peace. I don't want no peace. You know what I'm saying? I want to be whole. You know."
Mm.
And I thought about it. I said, that makes sense. That makes a
Mhm. Mhm.
and I think it's good to have happiness and love, which is peace, but it's good to feel whole. So
Mhm.
we destruct ourselves in this world by learning and eating the way that we eat, and just feeling how we feel. When is the last time we can say we felt whole? You know what I'm saying? So the goal in life is to find those pieces, bring those pieces in to make yourself whole. And I just thought of that, so just
So
go ahead.
so so yeah. So I hear a lot about peace.
Hmm.
Heal, right? You need to be, or I'm healed, when that's not true. You're always healing. Because
Yeah.
if you're always growing, you're always healing,
Hmm.
growing pains.
Hmm.
So, but when it talks about being whole, that's a completely different level of peace.
Yeah.
You are you are so solid within who you are that
Hmm.
someone can come to you, or people can come in your life, and
Hmm.
they don't shake you to make you doubt that you are whole.
Right. Yeah.
And also, you bring more to a person and also to an overall situation when you're whole, because you are thinking with your own self. You are thinking with your own intuition.
Right.
And it's a different level of happiness when you know that you are complete without someone completing you,
Yes.
or someone having that power to take away from you.
Yeah. That's wholeness.
Mm.
Yeah, that's peace. Peace and
All right,
whole.
y'all. Good night. Shit.
Right. Right. Real.
Oh, okay.
That's important. Like you said, you gotta master yourself because we depend on you know
Mm,
the people to make us feel happy. But what about me? Why I can't make me happy?
mm.
So it's good. It all leads back to going within. You know what I'm saying? Healing whatever that's in pieces and making it whole.
Yeah, yeah. Because if you go within, you can go without.
Ooh, we dropping
Oh,
bars.
we dropping bars tonight, boy.
Trying
Yes.
to try
If
to make
you
an
can go
album.
within, you can go without.
That's
When you
right.
know within self that I have a certain type of love that only I can give me.
Yeah.
And of course, talk about self love and all these things, but it's just a certain type of love you can give to you that another person cannot.
Right.
That makes the love you give them even more special,
Right. Amplify.
something that cannot be duplicated.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
That was nice.
yeah, this
So,
is this is class tonight.
and we
Yeah,
have to remember these things. We talk about these things, but even
yeah,
me myself, I'm gonna be honest. I have to remember this very conversation, because sometimes we forget. We need to be reminded. You know what I'm saying? That's why
good point.
coming on the side of the road to help us. Hey, remember, go 45. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Life reminds us. You know,
So,
make these things
so,
habitual. Go ahead.
so now I want to ask you,
Hmm.
because you made a very good point. Because you'll have a conversation just like this with another person, and you know that it's a lot of knowledge that you're dropping. It's a
Hmm.
lot of good things coming to you. You're receiving a lot.
Hmm.
How do we turn that into something tangible? Like, how do we make that an action? So, like, when we are dealing with something
Okay.
that's causing us to doubt, or something that's causing us to have trouble,
Hmm.
how do we how how can we take this very conversation and truly make it a best practice in our life?
Well, for one thing, I would say just take notes, mentally, or just, you know, that's a hard question.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I-
I just thought about that, because truthfully, I don't really remember a
and you
lot
won't,
of the
know
things.
what? You won't remember everything, but guess what? Your spirit or your intuition knows what you need the most. And
Mm,
certain things that I've said and you've said throughout this, podcast would stick out. Oh, he said something about health. I need to pay attention to my health. And that's probably what you needed or she needed or they needed the most. You know what I'm saying? So you
mhm,
won't remember everything. Just like when you read a book, you ain't gonna
mhm.
remember every word from word. It's impossible. You ain't we not perfect, but the things that need to be grasped and good for us, it's gonna resonate. You gonna feel something in you. You gonna say, "Oh, yeah, he right." Yeah, man,
Mm.
need to meditate more, know myself more, so that's my opinion at least.
And I also want to talk about meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation, or what I think people think when it comes to meditation is just sitting in a quiet room,
Mm-hmm.
crossing your legs, having your hands, or open, palms up, and you're trying to remain still and quiet your thoughts. When truthfully, that might not be how you can concentrate and focus on what's really within. I
Mm-hmm.
know at first it took me a while to get to that point to be able to be still, but I started meditating in different ways,
Mm-hmm.
ways that were productive with my own environment. Me
Okay.
working in a very fast-paced environment, it's hard for me to get that time to just quiet. So how can I get to a point, or how can I use the brief periods of time within my day to concentrate and to focus on me, checking in with me?
Mm-hmm.
So I would do walking meditation, or or if it was on my break, I would just kind of just sit there and just relax and just breathe, box breathing,
Mm-hmm.
different things, different techniques that will help. And that's literally just me saying that we have to find ways in our own environment that allows us to be our optimal self,
Yeah.
because how you grow doesn't mean that that's the same pattern that I'll grow in.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to grow, but we're all trees. We all grow in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
My lady, she always says that we are palm trees, and we have to be in that right environment for us to grow in. And we always have to feed ourselves what we need.
Mm-hmm.
So now, thinking about my own question, I'm thinking that truthfully, you have to figure out what's best for you in this environment and staying aware, just like how you are staying aware of what you eat. When I
Mm-hmm.
eat bread, I feel sluggish. When I eat, fried food or something like that, it's starting to do this. But when you eat raw meat, it makes you more alert, more aware, because you are focusing on your environment and how you produce the desired results that you need.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just practice.
Yeah, and
It's practice, yeah.
it is practice, and like you said, it's you med- walking meditation. It's different types of meditations that we can use. You
Mhm.
or direct. You have breath work, like you said. Fire meditation. You have,
Mhm.
some people use qigong. That's meditative, where
Yep.
just doing stuff like that. But another thing that I've learned is we are constantly meditating every day, and I think that's why it's important to be mindful. You know,
Mhm.
my, myself being mindful of the thoughts that we are having. You know,
Mhm.
we have to make a habit of, okay. Sometimes we'll say, "What if someone slap me in the face?" Or just thinking
Yeah.
crazy stuff. We have we have we
Yeah, we think
mind.
about that. We think about
Really, I
that.
have thoughts like that. We just
What
gotta,
is this motherfucker hit
know,
me?
gotta be conscious, and mindful of our thoughts every day,
Yeah.
and wait for a time to, okay, I'm gonna sit down and meditate. Start off your day with positive, thinking or prayer, or you know, because the brain is, it's like an electrical unit. It's full of electrical activity. It's wires.
It's a transmitter.
Right, neurotransmitters,
Mhm.
and so you wanna wire your thinking. Most of us majorly think negative, so we're not gonna always think positive. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The majority of our thoughts, we want to try to make sure that it's positive. We want to be aware. It's like we looking down at our brain right here, and this is us looking at it. You know,
Mm.
aware and conscious of what we're thinking. You know,
Mhm.
thinking that somebody gonna slap me, knock that off. I'm thinking positive, keep that. I'm thinking, we
Or I'm about to slap somebody. Okay, let me.
right. You know, you order taking things,
Yeah.
putting it in, taking things out. You
Yeah.
not giving certain things energy. You know what I'm saying? I think we
Mm-hmm.
mess up. I mess up when I give things energy and I
Yeah.
overthink things. You know, and those is what learn from the past,
Mm-hmm.
pass down. Your mother overthink. So certain things we have to be mindful of, looking down at it once again and saying, okay, now I'm gonna draw back from there. I'm not about to think this way because I
Mm-hmm.
know when I think like this, I start sweating and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Mm-hmm.
said and done, but we have to practice these things like we said earlier. Practice, 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 and
Mm-hmm.
eventually they'll be wired into our head.
Mm. Being able to use our not translator, transmitters
Right,
in a way that are more positive because everything we think becomes real
right,
because we make it so.
yeah,
We
and
make it so.
also, like I said before, we I don't know if you ever heard of alchemy, the things that we eat. Okay, for instance, the things that we eat produce certain effects. I can give you a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
You drink a whole lot of tequila. Guess what's going to happen? Where does it go first? It goes to your mouth, and then where does it go? To your stomach. And
Mm-hmm.
then your stomach, where does it go? Where do you feel it next? Your head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that the things that we eat can have an effect on the way that we think. So therefore, when I go into the cabinet, I need to be looking in the back, you know, okay, what's in here? Okay, this say cayenne pepper. Let me see if only cayenne pepper. Is it organic? You know what I'm saying? We need to be mindful of the things that we put in our stomach because
Mm-hmm.
ultimately it's gonna go up to our brain, and it's gonna travel through our whole body.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a soldier. It's either helping you or slicing you up, with different diseases or
Mm-hmm.
diseases. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
I could talk more about it, but I don't want to talk, a whole lot.
No, man, you good, man. And honestly, I just want to add on to that point
Hmm.
that just like you said, what we eat goes directly to our brains because we use that food as fuel,
Hmm.
and and our bodies have a natural sewage system, and it
Yeah.
starts with our kidneys,
Hmm.
and once our kidneys are definitely overworked, that puts us into the fight or flight program. That puts us to the
Like,
fight or flight
yeah.
response.
Hmm.
And I didn't know. Well, I did know, but I had actually forgot that when
Hmm.
it comes to our um, uh, adrenal glands, they're on top of our kidneys.
Okay.
So as our body isn't getting enough nutrients from it filtering out all these things, the
Hmm.
body starts pumping this overall like adrenaline into your body, and that's pushing your body. That's why your heart's beating fast,
Hmm.
or that's why you're trying to catch your breath,
Hmm.
or you're not able to breathe as deeply.
Hmm.
So whatever you eat, just like you said, has a direct effect on how we think because our body uses that to fuel this nervous system.
That's right. That's so right. So be mindful.
But
Mindful.
but yo, man, I definitely want to give you back your time, but I
No.
got two more questions for you.
Okay.
First, how can people reach you about your business and on social media?
So on social media, when it comes to my business and just reaching me in general, find me on Facebook at my first name Raheem Tabari Taylor. You can see it, my name right there,
Mhm.
Raheem Tabari Taylor. That is my Facebook. On Instagram, you can find me. And if you know how to use Facebook well, you'll see the Instagram link on my profile, anyways. But for those who don't have Facebook, you can find me at Assad ASAD Kufu, all together KHUF and U, and Assad Kufu, and that's my Instagram. And you can inbox me or whatever, and we can chat, and I can attend to you.
And one last question, or not question,
Mm-hmm.
but closing affirmations. I
Okay.
always like for the guests to close out with like
Mm.
with a word or something that you want to give, just a little bit of just a small nugget you want to give to the people.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't say it's a affirmation, but I just, you know, I want everybody to know to just strive and believe what you wish, to do. This is your mind, this is your body, your soul, your temple, and just look in yourself and strive. Don't let nobody tell you about you. It's up to you to master who you are and find out who you are. But you will never find yourself if you never seek yourself, if you never go within.
Mm-hmm.
So be mindful of yourself and always strive and never give up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people give up in life on a lot of things, but one thing you should never give up on is yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because our life is a gift. You know what I'm saying? And we have to treat it as such. And, just give yourself all the gifts, love on yourself, you know, treat yourself like the god or the goddess that you are. Not saying you the originator, but for those who know, they know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Treat yourself as such and master yourself. And in the words of our ancestors, know thyself. And that's
Mm-hmm.
all I have to say.
Come on, that's all I got to say, man. Come on. But yo, man, I I deeply do appreciate this conversation and the knowledge and the value that you brought to this. And one thing that I do know is that the value you have is ringing volumes not only through the people that are listening, but also to other people that need to hear this message energetically. So
Yes.
keep doing exactly what you're doing. And I know from this point forward, it's only going to get better.
Well, thank you. And I send the same energy to you, man. I'm proud to see, you doing this, the just even the name of your business, the conscious man, code of the conscious man, that's very valuable. You know what I'm saying? And, we need more people like us to spread that positivity and to be on this type of time instead of game banging and smoking,
Mhm.
carrying on, so it's a beautiful thing to have even met you in person. And I hope that your business grow, and it will grow. I'm gonna speak it, it's going to grow, and it's going to continue to be successful. And I maybe one day again we can vibe on another note on your podcast. So keep it up, man, keep it up.
I received that. Thank you, man.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Peace and blessings. Man, what a great conversation. Man, season two, episode one couldn't have gone any better, man. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And you're able to and what type of business do you have? If Eddie, so if you're talking to me, I can gladly answer that question. I actually have a life coaching business. So I help men discover their own greatness through uncovering the things that they go through in life and helping them build their own code. And that's how I came up with the name Code of the Conscious Man. Because the only way for you to be whole is for you to be conscious. You have to be aware. And if you are aware of self, then you are aware of everybody else. All right. But this is my YouTube page. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Enritual, Enritual, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. My content is about this. I do not post about things that are not moving forward with the agenda of bringing people together and also bringing men into their purpose. So thank you for asking that, Eddie. If you need anything, man, you know where to find me, all right? So I like to end the show with vision of the week. And this is something that I think about on a regular basis. So I come up with different things that I think about to help us focus on what we need to focus on. But each week is a little bit different because we always need something different to get us through the day. So my vision of this week is when you decide, you choose your why over the how. So when you decide what is best for you and what's needed for you to move in the direction that is going to qualify you for your happiness, you understand the why is more important than the how. When you know why you're doing this, the how just comes. Without you even trying to think about it, it just comes at you. Just like how I don't know how I'm going to pay this bill, but if you pay it, I don't know how I'm going to get through this day. Man, I'm finally off work. I don't know how I'm going to have this difficult conversation with my wife or my partner or with my girlfriend. But you have it. So it's not about the how, it's about the why. The why is what keeps you moving in the direction of forward. And as men, we have to be about that action. That's what defines us, is our action or our inability to have action or to be actionable. So men are defined by the physical things that we are able to do within this reality because we are the protectors of the world. So if you cannot provide for the world you live in, not saying for other people, just for yourself, then you need to learn about your why. And once you figure out your why, the how just comes to you, just like blessings. You don't question your blessings. You don't like, man, when is my next blessing gonna come? No, it just hits you because you're doing the work. And that's all it takes. Just have to do the work. So I want to give everybody their time back. But like I said, you can find me on all social media platforms by Enritual. I go live on Fridays. Not every Friday, but I go live on Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If there's something you want me to talk about, send it to me. If you want me to interview somebody, send it to me. Or if you want to be interviewed, I'm open to it. Send me the information. I'm with it. I'll have a conversation with anybody. Because the whole purpose of this show is to build the code for the conscious man. So I thank everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Funketeers from all over the galaxy are headed to planet Earth for the Funk and Future Festival, a hybrid event celebrating the influence and impact of historic and current funk artists through a technical and cultural lens. Taking place February 26 at the Hayti Cultural Center in Durham, North Carolina. Featuring Zach Robertson and the Nappy Head Funk Army and Tony Camp and the Funk All-Stars in concert and in the metaverse. Tickets available now at funktology.com. Funketeers from all over the galaxy.